Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn. Happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL, but for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
Check 41. Watch the run.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bernardrick McKinney muscled his way in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Faking the give, now Watson. Open man, the tight end fails. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now out comes Minnesota. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop.
19's me. 19's me. Hey, let's get this.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop. The defensive crew for the Texans. Here's a look.
Versatile players on defense are all the rage in the NFL, but it also helps to have a Benardrick McKinney who does one thing very, very well, and that's tackle ball carriers. Big man, big size inside, looks like a defensive end playing inside linebacker, still has the ability to run and cut runners off before they can get downfield.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Cousins to throw it. And incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended target. 3rd down here. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings.
Touchdown.
Adam Thielen there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
And that's exactly what you're supposed to do with good field position. You make the other side pay when you don't have far to go for the score.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over The other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Off of play action, it's Watson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Strip that ball. Now let's go.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And that's complete to Cooks. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. A gain of 6 there on 1st. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Here's Watson. Into the hands of the tight end. This is Jordan Thomas. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Back to throw, Watson. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. The headshots here are the offensive unit, and what about Brandon Cooks?
If he's not a 1,000-yard receiver every year he's healthy in the league, I'll be surprised. Came out of college wanting to be a pro, studied all the best receivers in the NFL before he even got to the league.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Cut.
He gets it to Cooks. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Watson looks to throw again. He finds his target, Fuller. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 20-yard line.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Anthony Barr almost defies description at times. He's built like a defensive end, but he plays outside linebacker and does it quite well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
6 man. Check girls, check guys. Let's go.
On the jet sweep, they get this to Cooks. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. An 18-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. A 10-play drive that time, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Cousins gives way to Cook. Space to maneuver at the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go. He's coming. We got double up.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, Cook. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. On the ground, it's Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they are going to call on Dan Bailey here. His career long is 56 yards done in Seattle. This will be from 56 yards out. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And in this first quarter of play, this will remain a tie ball game. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Next, the receivers have spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
On second down, Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here's that. 19. Check, check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Let's go, defense. Our time. Sign up. Go.
It's caught left side by Cooks. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
I know you felt that one.
They dialed up the blitz on third down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And now out comes Minnesota. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Check 41. I'm coming for you.
Back near the goal line, Cousins. And he's going to go down in the end zone. Cousins taken down for the safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10 at the 9-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
What's that? 18. Mike by 4. 3 buzz.
Now a first down throw. Watson nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready next time.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. To throw is Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And they work this out past the 25. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Watson now, only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
54. Come on. Line him up.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Partner, those are back-to-back 6-yard runs, and if they're going to continue to get those types of plays, shoot, you just keep running the same stuff, don't you?
Yeah, it was 1st and 10, then 2nd and 4. Now 1st and 10 again. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. Get ready.
Through one quarter, 9-7 our score. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
On the ground, this is Johnson. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack, because remember the last drive they went 3 and out.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run it with Johnson. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Now Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
54, Mike, 54. You got nothing today. You got nothing.
On 2nd and 9, Watson, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after, and it's 3rd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They start the drive with Cook. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play fake. Cousins. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Cousins now from the 50. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play, and who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Cousins, and he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing is Cousins. And this is caught on the sideline, but no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds, incomplete. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Bailey able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. David Johnson now gears up to help lead this offense back on the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the second quarter. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They begin the drive with Johnson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. That's caught out wide by Stills. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd and 9, Watson looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Watson. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Watson on first down. Open man, the tight end falls. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down now. It's Johnson, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Texans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Watson. Finding fouls complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
You're set. 3 team. And go. Defense on deck. On deck. And go.
From the red zone now, Watson. It's complete. Stills. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Ben Gideon leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Here we go.
Watson now to throw. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and goal. Here's Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Brandon Cooks there to make the grab. And the Texans push further out in front. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And that makes it a 9-point game. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Zach Cunningham, there defensively to make that play.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And we focus on Duke Johnson now. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
They turn to the fullback, Gillespie, trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From his goal line here, Watson. And an alley to run. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Set. 19. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. Line him, go.
From the gun on third, Watson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the second time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. There's the flash of Abdullah. Oh, and now he bowls him over. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. Here's Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards, the final tally. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
First down now, but that clock rolling. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. Bailey's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Now, after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This game's had a little bit of everything thus far, and certainly plenty to look forward to, as the teams are right back out there for the second half. So we'll get right back out there as well, as we'll turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Come on now, let's go.
Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deep.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively, just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Check, tight right.
Again, it's Cook.
You got 3.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And now out comes Houston. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Let's go.
Johnson, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Hey, reset. 19. 54. 9. 54.
Watson, off play action. Steps away. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now Watson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field, and that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Brian Anger now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And taken right on the 30. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Cousins on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And now let's look at David Johnson. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case,
Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 16. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this 1st down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
they tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And that one puts them on top here in the third. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He gets it to Cooks. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's 3rd and short.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Cousins now to throw on first down. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. Pretty good game for him so far. I guess he's still got time here to make this a great game, but so far, he's been solid.
I like where you're going with that because it has been pretty good, but there's always that hint that things can really escalate for him. And right now, they feel like they're somewhat keeping him in check, but he has found the end zone once. But, boy, he can explode at any moment.
Yeah, and when you hit that end zone once, you want to find it again, don't you?
Yes, you do.
Makes you hungrier.
You get greedy in a good way.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Watson from the gun, he'll throw. And an alley to run. And it's a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself from extra hits as well.
Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He is looking to help his team build their lead after trailing at halftime. They've got to like the spot they're in right now.
They have to love it, but as you and I both know, cliche alert coming here. You're only as good as your last possession. Yeah. But I think that they like, as you said, the spot they're in and how confidently they're playing at this point.
But again, just a one-possession lead, looking to expand that now. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch the boot, watch the boot.
From the gun, here's Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got it 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
There you go.
They'll run with Cook. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Extra point try by Bailey. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Okay, baby, let's go. Let's go.
Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Here's Watson. Open man, the tight end falls. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Here we go.
Here's Johnson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. On the jet sweep, here comes Fuller. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Off of play action, it's Watson. Finding fouls complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Reset. 19. Mike 54. He's scared. Time to go.
On first down, Watson. And Stills bringing it in. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting them in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
On first and 10, Watson. It's complete. Stills. And the ball is knocked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I know one thing, the team that had the ball and was driving, they're going to feel horrible. But the team that was on defense, I think we got to give them a little bit of credit, able to hang in there and force a key turnover.
In the red zone, though, had a chance to tie it and an opportunity missed. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Back near the goal line, Cousins gonna let it fly for Rudolph. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he comes back with 1 complete. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. First and 10 at the 14. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook, and he'll be taken down at the 18. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he'll get this up awfully close to a first down, but by the looks of it, might be a yard shy. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a first down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now Cobb to return. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Back now in Houston, it's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw is Watson. It's caught. Stills right side. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Watson on target here to Fuller. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Reset. 19. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Oh, you got deep?
On first down, Johnson. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
The Texans on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He may try and run for this. But he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
1st and goal, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball,
got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. The 3-yard touchdown pass as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the fourth quarter. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Back to throw, Watson. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. He's at the 50. The 30. Past the 20. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Well, that was almost a 4-point swing. The interception, if he had returned it all the way, would have been 2 for them, but just a little bit shy.
And when it's a play like that, you're exactly right with the math. But don't you feel like it would have counted for more if they found their way all the way back to the end zone and gotten the 2? That changes the whole momentum, doesn't it?
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you'd think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively, put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
They go play action. Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Out of the gun, Watson. And the catch made by Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here's Watson. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Throwing on third down, Watson. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
Here we go.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Watson looks to throw again. And he's going to keep it here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
On first down, it's Watson. Rolling to his left. Now he'll pull it down. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Watson now to throw. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Now a first down throw, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what'll be a 3rd and 4.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. This is caught. It's Cooks. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Watson and the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. From the gun, here's Watson. And it's caught. 10 more there and another first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Watson. Got a man open. It's Fuller for the Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game, and the Texans have retaken the lead.
Did you see them hold up 4 fingers to the start of the 4th quarter?
They were ready.
They were definitely ready. They may or may not have done that, but they certainly have played that way. The 4th quarter has belonged to them, and now the lead belongs to them as well.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that one a long 11-play drive, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cousins now. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Throwing is Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Watch left. Watch left. Let's go.
They'll throw again. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on first. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Here's Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a one-score game. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Now that was a terrific play. We're down here near the goal line, and only one word comes to mind for me, and that's overwhelmed, because they absolutely overwhelmed the offensive line. He came free and made the hit in the backfield.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Back to throw, and that is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And we are all tied here in the final stages. Now, we knew this had the potential to be a tight game, but with less than 3 minutes to play, couldn't be any tighter. We're all tied.
All locked up, right? And this next drive is going to tell us everything we need to know about this game, because I want to see how they come out with the football. Are they going to be aggressive and attack downfield? You still got the 2-minute warning to come up? Or are they going to be conservative and try and hold on and maybe just get to overtime?
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that.
40%. Play team. The ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Watson now to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Well, first down screen pass, good for 5. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock. But I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
It's hurry-up mode time for the Texans, hustling up to the line. Watson. Open man, the tight end falls. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Hey,
now it's Watson. He's got Fuller. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Watson. Over the middle, it's Fells. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a handoff. Johnson. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Right now, you know that the heart is pumping for Kaimi Fairbairn. This a long one from 54. And off the crossbar, and it kicks back out. Needed maybe a foot or 2, but it's no good as it stands. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. They go play action. Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. So they come out throwing in the extra session and get a nice hookup right away.
Tells you a lot about what a coach feels about his team, doesn't it? That type of a play in overtime. So many people in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. That throw there tells you exactly what they're trying to get done.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. He's had some big runs in this game. Not there, though.
But I don't think they're going to be deterred by that play right there. He's had some nice runs in the game. And how many times have we seen a good running back get stopped, yet turn it into something big on a later carry? I'd stay with him.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Here comes a big one now in overtime. This is 3rd and inches. On the carry, it's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So a big kick coming now for Dan Bailey. This to at least get him a lead here in overtime. Bailey's kick is good. And that will break our tie and give them a 3-point lead. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now out comes Houston. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. First throw in OT for Watson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Nice touchdown, baby. Keep working.
Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on